Hey, welcome back to Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks. I am Dylan.
And I'm Vinny. And today is one of those 4 magical times per year where we get a peek into Michael Burry's mind, particularly since he quit Twitter again. We're going to finally find out what the hell sort of moves he's been making behind the scenes for the last 3 months. We're going to talk about a 13F filing from today.
Ooh, couldn't find the button.
Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks.
All right. So, I know it's kind of hard to see here. Let me see if I can actually make this a little bit bigger for you. As far as like a themes, basically, that's kind of how I like to look at his 13F filing. He looks like both JD and Baba. If anyone has been around this channel for a while, know Dylan and I both own Alibaba shares, have been Alibaba shareholders for a while. I'm still holding strong. And my man Burry just doubled. He did too. He just doubled his position. Okay, it's his second largest holding as far as like dollar value right now.
Yeah, so it's 20% of his portfolio is JD and Baba. Did he own JD before on his last one?
He did on the last 13F filing. Yeah. He's just added way more of that one particularly. Well, we'll see. Overall, he talked about China as being undervalued. That was a tweet he put out several months ago. And, it looks like he's putting his money where his mouth is a little bit in terms of actually buying some Chinese stocks. Signet, which is an interesting one, is a jewelry company. As far as I know, they're a parent company. They own multiple different brands like K's and Zales and those sort of things. I haven't looked at their finances, so I can't really comment too much on that. So it's kind of interesting to see all of a sudden pop up. This is brand new for this quarter, and he owns a fair amount of it, almost $10 million worth. Now, if you keep scrolling down here, you're going to see a lot of banks. New York Community Bank, or Zoom is a separate company there, but Capital One Financial, another bank, particularly Capital One Financial is one that really targets subprime kind of loans, which is kind of surprising to see him moving that direction, but he did.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, WALL.
Yeah, exactly. Wells Fargo, the bank that somehow cannot get out of its own way when it comes to not making regulatory mistakes. But yeah, WAL, Western Alliance Bank Corporation.
And more importantly,
recently, Dylan?
So he also has got PAC-W and FRCB. I thought it was just FRC. What the hell?
That I can't comment on. I'm not really sure the difference there.
Here's PAC West.
It could be an entirely different bank.
It is important to note that with this, was it filing?
13F filing.
There we go. We just know that he had this as of March 31st. We have no idea what happened after that, right?
Exactly.
Now, he would have had no reason to actually buy PAC West before this, so I would assume he bought, somewhere over here. I would guess he probably has already sold. WAL, kind of the same thing. Big dip here, but they did recover. Let me type in FRCB.
Yeah, it doesn't come up. It's weird. Oh, maybe.
But if it's FRC, it's screwed.
Yeah, this is because it's been like now mostly delisted, right?
That could be it. Yeah, so not good. As you can see, this is April 28th. This stock is dead. It's not great.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's pretty wild. Hopefully he sold before then, but like, it was interesting because he obviously put out that tweet that you and I had talked a lot, and it kind of targeted and highlighted PAC West as a bank that was not as high a risk, but also represented some better value than some of the other competitors. But I thought that was kind of interesting as far as he ended up putting some money in there. I wonder if he made it out with most of it intact or not.
I mean, he could have just been doing it as a short-term trade. He could have even been playing earnings, which seems like a terrible idea. But PAC-W, I mean, their earnings. So FRC did their earnings, and then they tanked, right? And then I sold PAC-W an extended session because I was like, I don't want it. And then PAC-W was earnings the next day, and they actually did really well, right? They went up to actually 20%.
So. Yeah, very interesting. The other kind of theme that I would highlight from watching this right here is that he did pick up a few energy companies. I'm not familiar with the Canadian energy company, but I saw Devon Energy up here as well, and then Nove Inc., which I guess is also listed as an energy company. So that seems to be kind of a sector that he's interested in as far as value, which is kind of cool. And that we've both been trading a little bit of energy kind of stocks, though. Thought process of selling cash secured puts in hopes of buying some.
Yeah,
so a similar idea in terms of valuation. I think
about 200 shares of Oxy at 57.
Nice.
Yeah, it was too low. So.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see if my cash secured put gets exercised. It's like on the edge. But hey, I'll keep doing it until I finally get some. And then when I do get some, I'll go ahead and start selling covered calls and wheel it. See our separate video on wheeling strategy. But it's nice to see that he's doubling down on Chinese tech stocks, man. I mean, that was reassuring.
That's the big news. The big news is he's, one, still has it, two, double down. And BABA and JD. So the change was 50,000 shares increase and 175,000 increase in JD. JD is, I think it's less than half the price of BABA right now. But, it's a scary sector. No one knows what's happening. So it is reassuring that he still had that. And from the time that he bought, so this is JD, we know right here that he owned it up until here. It's slightly less than where he would have had it, but they are slowly breaking up here. So
they reported earnings and they had some pretty solid earnings. Those of us that own BABA are really excited for this Thursday because pre-market earnings come out for BABA for the most recent quarter.
Oh yeah, super sexy.
I know.
That's huge. Double down on China and lost money on some banks, I'm assuming. That's
probably. Yeah, exactly.
I would assume.
Yep. Sometimes he got a little bit too trigger happy with the value hunting. So yeah, that's what I suspect. I expect he got burnt on some of these regional banks. That's just my intuition, though.
Never happened to me. I've never made a mistake. It's cool.
No, totally.
All right, guys.
Catch you guys in the next one.
Let us know what you think. Later.